It is Tuesday. You guys know what that means. Our injury insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce, pays us a visit in studio. And, boy, Doc, the NFL, man. There's a ton going around. I guess the Jameson Williams thing, all right? 2-game suspension, performance-enhancing substances. Not performance-enhancing drugs, performance-enhancing substances. There is a difference. And look, Doc, for as old as time, the NFL has kind of been powered by stimulants, I guess you could say.
That's a good word.
Well, I mean, that's what it's been. We don't know. And to be fair, we have not been told. No breaking news has come out. We do not know what the quote-unquote substance was. What's your take, Doc, when you see something like this happen?
I think it's, a lot of times the players are doing stuff that they're not aware of. There's breakdown substances from things they may be taking that may be construed as a problem. Him only getting 2 games, and like you said, it's not a drug, it's a substance. I think it's probably something what wasn't doing purposefully. A lot of these players will be like, well, I didn't know, or I didn't know that was in it. And you got to be careful, especially with him recovering. I don't want to bring up the secret sauce, but a lot of times we got to make sure those secret sauces there's a breakdown product. So when you take something, there's a breakdown product within your system that you can test positive for that you don't realize you're doing. I think he's not fighting it. I don't think he's denying it. I would like to take the benefit of the doubt that he was unaware that these substances would break down to be a conflict with the NFL. Why they tested him, supposedly they're doing more testing. Are they picking on him? I don't think they're picking on him. Does he have bad luck? Maybe a little bad luck. But I don't think he willingly did something that he knew was wrong. I think it's more the case that I didn't realize that would happen.
Yeah, and
does that make sense? Or am I being too vague?
No, it totally does. But we don't know what it is right now. So this is where we're at right now. Is we're having the discussion. And DMAC, as the only ex-professional athlete here in the house right now, I'll flat out ask you, man. It's different today than it was back in your day. However, were you one of those guys that went through the ingredient list of every? See, I try to be all serious and set you up to look good, and then you do that. Then you do it on your own, DMAC. Well, I know the answer to this question. No, you didn't. Is that fair?
You asked the guy who would try anything once or 5 times if it didn't kill him.
That wasn't so bad. I'll do that again.
No, but it's also one of the I think the protocol is changing, and if it is one of these things that we will find out what it was probably, in the way I break it down, outside of what he got at the facility
within the locker room.
Right, from what Doc gave me, it was something other, and it could be something with what Doc back in the day. It was like a histamine or something like there was stuff you couldn't if you were on the
like certain cough syrups.
That's it. Like if you're on the NHL's drug restriction list or whatever like that from alcohol and stuff like that. But that was one of the things is that cough syrup would do a positive with different stuff like that. So you have to really make sure. And then now these days where Doc say who knows what ingredients it is, and it's something more of not maliciously doing something like going out and it's not like weed or stuff like this. It's something
growth
that he
hormones
took.
And
no, but Doc, because right away, this kind of dropped before everybody was going to bed, and I was taking a look at stuff of the past, and people were talking about substances like Adderall and stuff you could legit have a script for.
Right.
Now there are protocols in place to where you can still take it because you have your prescription, but there's paperwork that has to be filed with the league and all that kind of stuff that's got to go on. That's why, for the people that, and there are tons of them out there that say, oh my God, I can't believe this could happen. How could you let this happen? People forget this is a 23-year-old kid. I will tell you that I did not have my life in order at 23 years of age. It would be disappointing, sure. You still have to take care of it, yes. But these are the types of things, though, that are out there.
Yeah, I don't think he maliciously did
Correct.
anything. I mean, you don't understand. Like, you refer to when Darren was playing. The sensitivity of drug testing is 100 times more sensitive. They're testing for more things. Like, we're understanding, Adderall and those kind of, bipolar medication, things to calm you down, anxiety meds. There's a lot of things out there that are breaking down. Because they didn't say drug, they said substance. I'm not so sure it is a drug. So we're playing with their words, and unfortunately, I don't know firsthand.
Right.
Marijuana has been thrown out there a lot. I don't know if that's actually considered enhancing anymore. I heard they stopped testing in the NBA. I don't know what the NFL's still doing. There's a lot of changes of lifestyle too. I mean, he's 23, but he also is 23 making millions of dollars and with agents and a lot of people around him. So I can't compare you to him at 23.
Correct.
But he should still have conscious of it. But I don't think he did anything malicious. This guy just has bad timing or didn't get out of his system or, is it a secret? I don't know. I think because he's just taking the suspension, there's nothing to fight. He's made aware of it. Probably one of those SHIT moments, and I shouldn't have done that. It actually doesn't do anything for my game. I don't think at 23, I don't think he's taking anything to make him play better.
Right.
Maybe the guys that are 33 need some of that, but at 23, he should be pretty good.
All right, Doc. Let's in the chat, Silent Service ask a question. What's up with Montgomery? David Montgomery. How close did we fly to the sun on that one? What was the story there in your best guess?
Well, I mean, they're calling it a contusion or a bruise. I mean, the thing is he went into the tent, so it makes sense. He supposedly had a knee injury, goes into the tent. They probably checked out the function of his knee is fine, and it allowed him to play again. But that bruise, if you do get like a bruise, if you remember, the bruise of the muscle can create more of a problem as you're playing. So you can get like an inflammation or a little bit of blood in there, and your muscle starts tightening up. So that I'm trying to hope that that's better, because if we are to contusion, bruising, it's a little unknown, but it's a quicker recovery. So he could go week to week. But a lot of times the therapist, the training room will be able to handle that, get the blood down, get the inflammation down, use some of that special cream to get him under control. I don't think they haven't announced what he's doing for this week, right? He's not officially out. So
correct.
I would feel, it's not like it's a torn ligaments or anything like that. It's more of a contusion. Let's call it a contusion bruise that, depending on how far he can recover and how, his first step and how he can go diagonal, all that. The cutting is the word I'm looking for.
No doubt. Doc, NFL as a whole, I think that Lions fans, we've been out of the game for a long time in terms of being good. That's a fair statement.
The competitive game
of football
right.
in the National Football League. The following words are the expressed opinions of Neil Rule, do not represent Dr. James Pierce in any way, shape, or form. Dr. Jeff Pierce, excuse me. But Doc, like, you look at it, if you're counting on being 100% healthy to win,
it's not
you ain't
happen.
winning. I say ain't for effect. Like, look around the league last night, even. The Bucs, they lost both wide receivers. This is survival. This is Hunger Games, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's always been, and maybe you're right. We're paying a little bit more attention to the whole thing because we are in the hunt, and we want to know who's going to be competing with us. And like I said last year, we were lucky.
100%.
We were lucky with injuries. I saw a thing on Dan Campbell, and you can probably pull my video of saying he's running them hard in practice preseason, right? But he wanted them running at game 1, not at game 4 or 5. So the injury, he says, well, it's injury prevention also. Let's go full practice preseason. That theory is yet to be proven. We're starting to see injuries on our team, but because he did that preseason doesn't mean Hutchinson had that injury today or Montgomery. It's just, it's timing, it's hitting. It's like they're taking on the Lions like, you're a real contender. We're stepping up. We're not just, okay, we're waiting for the next game. We're going to get through the Lions. It's a fight. Is it Hunger Games? it's a nice example. I don't know if I'd use that verbiage, but it is.
You got to be the last person standing, man.
Yeah, it's going to be that. And there's no, like I said before, there's no mercy like we talked about Ragnow. They're going after his injury. You want to come out here and play? You're playing at 100%. I'm not treating you with a handicap. So it's game on. And we're in the thick of it.
That's a great point, right? And you see that with Zeitler and the question. It's how do you deal with these injuries? I like the fact that coming off last game, Dan Campbell came out and said, Frank Ragnow having this, but played one of his best games that he'd seen and stuff like this. So it's about the maintenance also, and about that special sauce you always talk about. But guys got to figure out how to get back out there, and it's the next man up mentality. With Hunger Games, next man up, whatever it is, you're gonna go through it. We talk about it every year. Availability.
Yeah, I mean, we're proven. I mean, I've never heard anybody talk about the Lions like they are now. It's refreshing. Like, I'm getting calls from people from Philadelphia and Tampa and all
scared.
that. It's like, you got a team up there. We're fun to. It was a fun game on Sunday. It was like I had friends in Minnesota. I mean, what a great game to go away to. I mean, they're proving at a lot of levels that we're building a championship team. You still got the Chiefs out there that are just like my son said, just kick them out of the league and let everybody else play. Give them some trophy and let everybody else play.
Well, and the reason I kind of bring all that up as well, like you look across the league, the San Francisco. We talked about the Buccaneers last night, losing Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, boom, boom, done. The 49ers, Brandon Ayuk, a torn ACL and an MCL. At the same time, Deebo Samuel has pneumonia and remains out indefinitely. Christian McCaffrey has not played this year.
Shout out Ricky Pearsall, waiver wire god.
Doc, this game.
I got to call myself out on McCaffrey because I thought he'd be back by now. So there must be something there because that guy's a beast too.
What's your again, total not affiliated guess. Don't know anything about the situation. I keep hearing calf.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense.
Correct.
I mean, a guy like that, there's got to be a complete tear or something more concerning. Like, even if he tore a muscle, he should be back with what's left of it. So I don't know. I mean, I praised him on all his plyometrics and all his different way of training, and I'm calling myself out. I mean, I used him as the golden child of how to train, and for the younger kids, look at what he's doing. So I don't know. I don't know.
But that proves to the bigger point, Doc. Like, you brought up the Dan Campbell training camp regimen. DMAC, you've talked about your exploits on the ice as well. How about this? How about there's just nothing you can do in this league? How about that? There is
when it's 100%. Listen, it's not 99%.
It's total.
Available. It's a total. Everybody will be injured. Which, like, if you step back to see that, it's always, to Doc's point, is he's just thinking, what is the prevention, or what can I do to prevent this injury? And if he's gobsmacked, and not because he hasn't seen anything, but there's something underlying even more that you're talking about Christian McCaffrey that he's dealing with, or some of these guys. That's why it's so important, is that when you ask about David Montgomery and about guys, the contusion, okay, so it's a treatable, can play. It's something that's not going to hinder him if he gets injured even more, right? It's structurally. That's is that not?
Yeah, I mean, I think structurally his knee is fine. It's what's going on around it, and it's going to be a game day. Him changing direction, exploding out. He can't be 50%. Can he be 80%? Yeah. Will he play at 80%? Yeah, they're fun to play with. You pick on what's his face from the Raiders. Our friend. Can we actually say his name? Aaron Rodgers' new buddy. I mean, hamstring, he can't play. All of a sudden, he's playing, and they still didn't win. But I can't.
Is it time? Here's my take, real quick, since you're here. On Aaron Rodgers. I think I've told you this before, actually, so I'm not setting you up here. Tom Brady, total sellout of his body to the game. Wrung every second of playing time out of his body. Through the training, the man didn't eat meals. Aaron Rodgers, in the meantime, does golf and peyote trips.
Whoa. I mean, okay, keep going.
Yeah, and peyote trips and darkness retreats and all that kind of stuff. He didn't. because I was on this about him going to the Jets just was never going to work because he doesn't sell his body to the game. Does he train? Sure, Doc, he trains. Does he put in the film work? Sure. Was he a great player in the game? Sure. But I think that in order to play, when you get past 40 in this league where we're just talking about
people are going for your head.
Total injury rate, 100% total injury rate. If you want to play at that age, Doc, I'm convinced you have to sell your body to the game, like Derrick Henry does, like LeBron James does, like Tom Brady did. Am I way off on that or no?
Tom Brady, it's hard. He's the pinnacle. He's not the standard. I mean, he's the top. You've picked out everybody who's the top. Is it fair to treat him that's where his level should be to be successful? I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate on you. I mean, I think it's a little unfair. The guy has proven himself. He's taking a different method. He's taking a more of a mental method. Mental toughness is as good as physical toughness. Mental smarts at this age is just as good as, he needs to have a baseline. There has to be an infrastructure of his body and his recovery and his preparation for his body to play. His elasticity, his collagen. Like, if we want to get scientific, his elasticity, collagen, his makeup of his body, of his muscles, of his ligaments, of his joints, of his, he needs to do certain things he didn't have to do 20 years ago. Is he doing that at the level he should be, which is I really think what you're pointing at? We can
Correct.
pick on him. No, I don't think he's putting that full commitment in. Is he doing it from a mental standpoint at a higher level than anybody else?
Sure.
Yeah, he's exploring some other way to do it. He's trying to do it the Aaron Rodgers way. I'm not Tom Brady's puppet. I'm not Tom Brady's, he's not my idol. He's another guy that's played at the same time. I'm doing it the Aaron Rodgers way. Can I win 5 more Super Bowls to catch up to him? No, I'm not going to. But I'm going to be who Aaron Rodgers is. He's a different breed. He's a different mental status. He's not sitting in Tom Brady's shoes. He's sitting in Aaron Rodgers' shoes. And everybody, all the listeners, if they understand what I just said, everybody's got their own shoes to live in. You can't judge him until you're in his own shoes. And even when you're in their own shoes, you still got your mental brain that has your morals, not their morals. And that's a life philosophy lesson right there. But
come for the injury, stay for the life philosophy.
It's true though. I mean, it's the younger kids. When we say it as an old person on the back nine to young people, even like you got. Well, Darren's around my age, but even like yourself. I mean, right now is a learning moment. You can't. It's great to boister out all these opinions, and everybody on Woodward Sports has their opinion, but you're sitting in your own shoes, never living in their lifestyle. Growing up on the streets is different than growing up like Seth Curry. You've got a different attitude. You got a different group of guys around you. We talk about Jameson. I mean, he's got a different lifestyle that he grew up in, and he's going to mature through it, right? And that's, did he make a bad decision? Did he have the upbringing? Did he have the schooling? Did he have, 2 parents? I don't know his history that much, but when you add all that stuff up, like Darren was saying, you got to take 100% of the picture. You can't take snapshots and judge people. And that's what, I'm mature enough to try to take that 100% look. And, I've had a lot of talks with greats. Like, Gervin's probably the one who's influenced me the most. That you got to understand. I mean, he came from the streets. Yeah. And you have a different mentality. You don't have the Cranbrook school and the car and not worrying. Like Shaq told a story, which is when they caught me. I'm rambling right now. You okay?
I do want to hear the story, though, yeah.
Shaq tells a story about his dad that, he had a bad game, and dad calls him after the game and says, you don't understand the pressure I'm under. And he basically said, F you, meet me at 5 a.m. Did you hear this story?
Yeah, I did. I saw it on social media.
I mean, I just want to bring more attention to it, that we don't understand what pressure is.
Right.
Pressure is wondering if you're going to eat, if you're going to be... that's real. This is still a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. So keep it in perspective. Don't sit here and whine about, I have pressure on.
Yeah.
You do have pressure, but is it life-changing pressure? I'll end with that.
No, yeah, hey, we're gonna do the mental episode. Certainly that's one that we have loading.
I mean, I probably chat quiet down as I did that.
But Doc, as always, we appreciate the time, my friend. Thank you.
Doc.
Thank you, Doc. Appreciate that. Yep. Dr. Pierce, everybody, every Tuesday right here on Big D Energy.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insight with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that I trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.